Hey guys, I'm FatBuddyCat, and this is the Ultimate Torque Bug 3.0. Well guys, we're finally at the point where I can start to disassemble everything and make any final touches as I prep the frame for paint. I'm going to start by removing my brake, my seat, my gas tank, and the wheels. I'm going to take them both off this time. Get it right down to a bare frame. This was super simple to take apart. Thinking ahead is going to save us a lot of hassle and time in the future. I'm going to get this thing outside and see what I got to do for touch-ups. I know I got a few welds here and there. Maybe a little grinding. Definitely some sanding. With the wheels off, it's a lot easier to move this frame around on this bench. Here's what I'm after. Some little gaps that I left. Some holes from the factory. Just little imperfections and such. I'm tacked up on the bottom. I'll clean those up. Take a look down here. Really not a whole lot. We're going to be into a lot of prep work though. So I'm going to get after it. Alright, it turns out that there's a lot of imperfections that are going to show up in the paint, mostly due to the transitions and the layers that are on here. So instead of sanding it this time, I'm going to try something different. Personally, I'm not a fan, but this stuff is supposed to be minimally caustic, if none at all, and a little bit better for the environment than the alternative. Give it a shot. I'm just going to dump it on the frame and brush it around. It started to drizzle about a half hour after the first coat, so I hit it with another one. Threw a tarp over it. It's after about 2 hours. Might get one coat. I'll give it the once over. See how we do. Well, this is the thrice over. I ended up pressure washing it, applying another coat, pressure washing it again, and I just scraped a little bit more, so we're gonna hit it for 4. I got the 4th coat on last night. It's already starting to rain in the strip club, so I'm just going to turn it up one last time. Not the worst thing I found behind the shed. A little bit of that action, and a lot of bit of that action. I'm still left with something to sand off. Oh well. I have to wipe her down. Let this thing dry for a bit. After a good sanding with some 120 grit, I'm left with just a few heavy spots. A little bit up on the fork, on the bottom, right here, and some hiding up there. I'm gonna hit the strip club one more time. Last night was a better experience. We woke up with some good results. I just hit this with the pressure washer again, and anything that's left is barely noticeable against the surface. It's an older mini bike, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go after it with some sandpaper and then give it a bath. It started raining, so I just went right down to a 2000, gave it a wet sand. I'm gonna whack it with the super clean and hose it down. I'm obviously not going to attempt to paint this thing today. It's going to be raining for the rest of the afternoon and at least tomorrow morning. Last thing I'm going to do is take a clean rag that's not saturated in grease or anything and go over it with some lacquer thinner. Before I paint it, I'll go over it again just to remove any impurities. Basically, surface rust that might start to show up in places. This is bare metal, guys. It's close as we're going to need to be anyway. There's no real big scratches in any of the main rails where it would really stand out. Down here, hey, it is what it is. I didn't even waste my time completely taking off where the old welds were for that cross member that held the bracket for the fender and probably had something to do with the chain guard. But you get a feel for these frames. It's not super thick metal. They're a little bit better. They're higher in iron content than today's offerings, but you get a feel for stuff, and you know if you take it any further, you're probably gonna end up putting a hole somewhere. So here's what it is. I'll lacquer thinner out and see what happens. It looks like we got ourselves a fresh new canvas. That's what happened. Well, it's fresh enough anyway. Because you know, we're building go bikes, not show bikes. This thing is meant to be ridden, repaired, and enjoyed for what it is. But that doesn't mean we can't take a shot and try to make this thing look the best we can. And that's exactly what we're going to do next. Because as always, it's a work in progress. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one.